In a distant realm, nestled between the folds of time and space, lay the Forgotten Kingdom. Its once towering spires, draped in ivy and moss, hid stories of grandeur and mystery. At the heart of this realm, hidden within a sprawling palace overrun by nature, slept the eternally sleeping princess. Legend spoke of Princess Liora, with hair as dark as raven's feathers and skin that shimmered like the morning dew. As an infant, an envious witch had cursed her, condemning her to an endless slumber. Her heart still beat, and her chest still rose and fell, but the spirit that had once animated those eyes, which once sparkled with life, had vanished, lost in dreams. Liora's parents, devastated by the curse, tried everything in their power to break it. They summoned magicians from neighboring kingdoms, consulted ancient scrolls, and sought the counsel of mythical creatures. But nothing worked. Every attempt to wake the princess only seemed to deepen her sleep. As time marched on, the kingdom's residents lost hope. The enchantment seemed insurmountable. Slowly, people moved away, seeking life beyond the boundaries of the Forgotten Realm. Nature, in its infinite persistence, began to reclaim the once great kingdom. Vines intertwined with stone, and the chirping of birds replaced the bustle of life. However, unbeknownst to many, deep within the intricacies of Liora's dreams, she wasn't dormant. She found herself trapped in an ever-shifting dreamscape, surrounded by a dense fog that seemed to have a will of its own. It danced and swirled around her, making it impossible to see beyond a few feet. Every time Liora tried to move or call out, the fog tightened its grip, muffling her voice and ensnaring her steps. Sometimes, in the distance, she would hear faint whispers, echoes of the attempts made to wake her from the outside world. The words were indistinct, but their intent was clear. They were calls for her to wake up. These distant voices gave Liora hope. She knew that she wasn't alone, and that somewhere, people were still trying to help her. One particular day, or what felt like a day in the timeless void of her dreams, Liora noticed something new. A small, faint light shone in the distance, piercing through the fog. Drawn to it like a moth to a flame, Liora tried to approach the light. As she did, the fog thickened and howled in protest, but she persisted. The closer she got to the light, the more it grew, casting away shadows and revealing a magnificent silver tree. Its trunk was smooth and bore no leaves, but instead, it held countless shimmering crystals that radiated an ethereal glow. At the base of the tree was a large, radiant crystal, pulsating with an energy that Liora felt deep within her soul. Curiously, she approached the tree and reached out to touch the central crystal. The moment her fingers made contact, the entire dreamscape shook. Visions of her past, of the kingdom, and of those she loved flooded her mind. But amongst these memories, a new sensation emerged, a soft, melodic voice, different from the distant whispers she had heard before. "Liora," it began, "you are not alone in this battle. Your strength is admirable, but to awaken, you need help from the outside, from a heart pure and intentions clear. Seek the one who can traverse both worlds. Only then can the curse be broken." And as abruptly as it had started, the vision ended. The dense fog returned, but this time, Liora felt different. There was a renewed determination in her. She now had a clue, a direction. She needed to find someone, a bridge between the dream world and reality, someone who could help her awaken. Outside in the Forgotten Kingdom, the passage of time continued. But unbeknownst to the world, within the walls of the sleeping palace, the princess was now on a quest of her own, searching for her savior. The tale of the eternally sleeping princess was not yet over, it had merely begun. In the neighboring kingdom of Lumera, tales of the Forgotten Kingdom and its eternally sleeping princess were little more than bedtime stories, whispered to young children as a way to usher them into the world of dreams. Yet for Elara, a young woman with strikingly blue eyes, these tales felt deeply personal. Dreams had always been a significant part of her life. Every night, Elara experienced vivid dreams unlike any other. She wandered through landscapes that shifted and changed, conversed with fantastical creatures, and sometimes even felt the emotions and thoughts of those she encountered. More often than not, she woke up with a profound sense of having journeyed somewhere, having touched another world. One night, Elara's dreamscape shifted to a realm of dense fog. The atmosphere felt familiar, reminiscent of the stories about Princess Liora. Pushing through the mist, Elara stumbled upon the radiant silver tree, its crystals shimmering with an otherworldly glow. Drawn to the central crystal, she touched it and was immediately flooded with memories and emotions not her own. She heard a voice, soft and melodic, "Seek the one who can traverse both worlds." Elara realized she was that bridge, the link between the dream world and reality. She had a purpose to fulfill. Awakening with newfound determination, Elara set out to the Forgotten Kingdom. Her journey was long and fraught with challenges. Wild forests, treacherous mountains, and mysterious beings tested her resilience and will. Yet, with every obstacle she overcame, her belief in the tale of the eternally sleeping princess and her role in it grew stronger. Months passed, and finally, Elara stood before the grand gates of the Forgotten Kingdom. Time seemed to stand still, with nature having taken over the vast city. With every step inside, Elara could sense the dormant magic of the place, waiting for a spark to awaken. Navigating through the sprawling palace, she finally reached the chamber where Princess Liora lay. The sight was heart-wrenching, a young woman, looking serene and untouched by time, yet trapped in an eternal sleep. Elara approached her slowly, placing a gentle hand on Liora's forehead. Closing her eyes, Elara tapped into the deep well of dreams within her. She projected herself into Liora's dreamscape, where she once again stood amidst the fog. This time, however, she wasn't alone. Liora was there, her eyes filled with a mix of surprise and hope. "Liora," Elara began, her voice echoing in the dreamscape, "I've come to help you. I believe I am the bridge between our worlds." The princess nodded, her hope growing stronger. "Together, we can break this curse," Liora whispered. With her hands intertwined, Elara focused on the memories and emotions she'd felt upon touching the crystal tree, channeling that energy into Liora. The fog around them began to dissipate, replaced by a warm, golden light. In the physical world, a brilliant aura enveloped the two women. The palace seemed to awaken, with dormant fountains springing to life and long extinguished torches igniting with blue flames. Hours seemed to pass, yet when Elara finally opened her eyes, mere moments had gone by. Before her, Princess Liora stirred, her eyes fluttering open for the first time in centuries. As their gazes met, a silent understanding passed between them. They had succeeded. The Forgotten Kingdom was forgotten no more. Word of Princess Liora's awakening spread like wildfire. People from neighboring realms came to witness the miracle, and slowly, life returned to the kingdom. Yet, while the kingdom rejoiced, Elara and Liora knew their journey was far from over. The curse had been broken, but the witch who had cast it still roamed free, and they were determined to ensure she could never harm anyone again. With the kingdom bustling with life and hope restored, Elara and Princess Liora knew their true mission had only just begun. The witch's curse had been formidable, and her power was not to be underestimated. The two women, bound together by destiny, prepared for their next journey, to confront the envious witch and prevent her from weaving further malevolent spells. Whispers of the witch's whereabouts reached them through ancient scrolls and wise old seers. She resided on the Isle of Shadows, a desolate place beyond the midnight sea, where darkness thrived and the moon never shone. With a crew of brave-hearted souls and a ship strong enough to endure the most tempestuous waves, Liora and Elara set sail. The sea was treacherous, with towering waves and whirlpools threatening to pull them under. But Elara's gift, her connection to the world of dreams, allowed her to navigate the waters using visions of calmer paths and hidden currents. Upon reaching the Isle of Shadows, they were met with an eerie silence. Tall, dark trees with twisted branches formed a dense forest, and the air was thick with mist. The further they ventured, the more oppressive the atmosphere became. Shadows seemed to have a life of their own, whispering secrets and casting illusions designed to mislead. Deep within the heart of the isle, they found the witch's lair. It was an ancient, dilapidated tower, surrounded by thorns and guarded by creatures of shadow. As Liora and Elara approached, the entrance to the tower creaked open, as if inviting them in. Inside, at the very top, the witch awaited them. Her eyes, once filled with envy and anger, now seemed weary. Yet, her posture remained defiant. "Why have you come?" she hissed. "To ensure you never harm another soul," Liora replied firmly. "You may have awakened, princess, but you'll never understand the depths of my loneliness and the reasons for my actions." It was then that Elara stepped forward, her blue eyes shimmering with empathy. "I've seen the world of dreams, the emotions and memories of countless souls," she said gently. "I may not understand everything, but I can try." She reached out, touching the witch's hand. In an instant, they were transported to a dreamscape, witnessing the witch's past. A tale of love lost, of betrayal, and a heart turned cold by grief and anger. The witch had once been a powerful sorceress, her heart full of love. But circumstances and betrayals had turned her to darker paths. Emerging from the vision, tears streamed down the witch's face. "All I wanted was to be loved," she whispered. "We all seek love and understanding," Liora responded, her voice kind. "But causing pain to others will never fill the void in your heart." Together, The two women extended their hands. Using the combined strength of Liora's royal lineage and Elara's gift, they weaved a spell. Not to imprison or harm the witch, but to cleanse her heart and soul, allowing her to start anew. As the spell took hold, the Isle of Shadows transformed. The dark trees bloomed with radiant flowers, the mist cleared, revealing a sky painted with hues of pink and gold. The witch, no longer burdened by her past, began her journey of redemption. Liora, Elara, and their crew sailed back to the Forgotten Kingdom, which was now thriving and vibrant. Their journey had taught them the power of understanding, compassion, and the strength that comes from unity. Years passed, and while the tales of the eternally sleeping princess and the witch of the Isle of Shadows were told and retold, the story's essence remained unchanged, that darkness can always be dispelled with light, and even the most hardened hearts can find redemption.